Hey YouTube. This drive time might ramble on a little bit just because I'm really not sure what to say about the Senate hearings last night. I just am so flabbergasted at the process that I don't know. Alright, let me start with House Bill 1224. That's the limiting of magazine capacity to 15 rounds. The proponent side, which is the side that supports the bill, brought forth as expert witnesses several people from Sandy Hook that had family or related to or somehow connected with Sandy Hook, Gabrielle Giffords shooting, or the Aurora shooting. And there were many tears, there were many sad stories, very descriptive stories about laying on the cold concrete with brain matter on you and this and that, and the whole premise for the argument. Well, let me just say that those stories are very sad. They're very tragic events. And each one of them ended with the magazine capacity killed my family member or whatever it was. The magazine did this or the magazine capacity did that. And the one example they had was in the Arizona shooting with Gabrielle Giffords. The shooter dropped a magazine. Actually, I think he had 3 magazines. He shot through one, and I think there were 30 round Glock mags. He shot through one, attempted to reload, it jammed, so he dropped that, and then dropped the third one or something like that. Somebody laying next to him grabbed the dropped magazine, and then 2 guys tackled him. So their logic is, we want to limit magazine capacity in the hopes that during that 2 to 3 seconds where he's reloading after 15 rounds, he screws up and drops the magazine, or somebody can tackle him. That's the logic, that's the argument, that's how they're going to save lives. So, on the opposing side, the question was asked by one of the senators, I believe it was Senator King, how many bullets is enough? And he was asking this as in opposition. And his answer, he said, I've been looking at this for a very, very long time. And the question that we need to ask is how many bullets is enough? And the answer is one more than the bad guy. So, in one of the expert witnesses on the opposition side, there were some questions back and forth between one of the supporting senators, and the question was asked, I believe, by the witness, what do I do when I run out of 15 rounds and I've got multiple home invaders or whatever the situation may be where I need more? And they said, do a magazine change. So their witnesses in support of the bill say that they want the bill to pass in hopes that during the magazine change by the criminal, by the perpetrator of violence, that he screws up and drops the mag, or it allows them the couple seconds of opportunity to tackle the dude so that they can't shoot anybody else. And now they're telling us, they turn around in the same breath and they tell us that it's okay to have 15 rounds because you can always reload. You can always change the magazine out. If there's such a big chance that the criminal's gonna screw up in his magazine reload, then why do we want to have a magazine reload? We don't want to have the opportunity for the criminal busting into our house, that 2 seconds or 3 seconds for a magazine reload. You're under stress. If it's my wife, you know, she's not as proficient as I am. We're going to the range and training and all that kind of stuff, but it's circular logic. They want to use the 2 to 3 seconds against the criminal, but they say that that's okay for the home defender. I don't. That logic makes no sense. It has. I hope you guys can understand that, because, or at least understand what I'm trying to say, because it makes no sense to me. It's completely ass backwards. But like Senator King said in opposition to the bill, we need one more bullet than the bad guy. That's what we need. So I guess I'll wrap that up as my drive time segment 1 for this, I guess. And I'll just make a couple small videos and post them all in a row. So, Senate Bill 1224, it passed, limiting magazine capacity. Now it has to go actually for a vote in the Senate. And I'm hoping that we can convince enough of the Democratic senators to oppose the bill so that it doesn't pass. But I don't know, we'll see. If this happens, Magpul's going to leave, and all these other companies are going to leave too, so I don't know. Alright, so that's the drive time. That's the logic they use. They want to give 2 to 3 seconds during the reload to take down the criminal. But if we need to reload, it's okay to have that 2 to 3 seconds for the criminal to get to us through the house. So, doesn't make any sense to me, but apparently it makes sense to somebody, because 3 senators voted for this bill. So, the deck was stacked against us. We only had 2 Republicans on the board, or the panel, or committee, and they had 3 Democrats, and they were all supporting of the bills. So, again, this doesn't put them in the law, it just moves them to the Senate floor for a vote. So, we'll see. That's my drive time, that's my rant. If you didn't get a chance to see the hearings or be there, I encourage you to pay attention to all the politics that's going on. Do your best to get to your state capitals during these hearings and let your voice be heard. It was it was a huge statement to have everybody there. On the proponent side, the supporting side, they had enough witnesses to get through the 90 minutes of testimony. And that's about it. We had enough people there to testify for probably, I'm trying to get the sun out of your eyes, for probably a whole day. We probably had enough witnesses to testify for the entire day straight for each of the bills. If they had 1 professor, we had 20 professors. If they had 1 sheriff, we had 20 sheriffs. The expert witnesses they brought forth were nothing more than people who were victims of a violent crime. And their stories are sad, but completely irrelevant to address the issue of violence, and let alone have any relevance to the bill that was being addressed. Our expert witnesses were sheriffs from all over the state that were basically saying, nobody consulted us with this bill, it conflicts with current law, and it's not enforceable, and nobody consulted us when making this law or designing this bill. So we had professors, we had sheriffs, we had professionals from all over, lawyers basically saying that the bills were filled with holes, the wording was poor, etc., etc. But they still all passed, which shows you what their agenda really is. Alright, so that's enough rambling and ranting for me. I'm almost at the 10-minute mark and I want to get it done before then. So, write your senators. Be in the process. God bless our military service members, past and present. Keep your powder dry, folks.